I snapped the sky at 4:05, a burst of blue that felt alive. No caption deep, no filter glow, just look at this and let it go. No one liked or shared it fast, just clouds that moved and quickly passed. But later on, while scrolling slow, I saw a post, his sky in tow. Different view, another block, but same soft pink, same edge of clock. No hashtags matched, no comments linked, yet somehow still I paused and blinked. He saw the sky I'd seen before, in his own frame, his own decor. No message sent, no line was drawn, but something warm just lingered on. Two skies, two screens, no perfect rhyme, but still they met across the time. No words exchanged, no tags to trace, just shared horizon, different place. I didn't post again or say, but smiled alone the quiet way, as if the clouds had made a call between two hearts without a wall. He never knew, he didn't see the way that moment carried me. No chat, no likes, no DM sound, but still it felt like I'd been found. We don't align, we barely speak, but once in skies the edges leak. And even if it wasn't meant, that glow was real the way it bent. He caught the light I'd caught before from somewhere else, some distant shore. Not face to face, not close in miles, but still enough to stir my smiles. No proof, no sign, no written thread, but still it echoed in my head, as if the sky had passed us both, a quiet spark we didn't know. Maybe we're just two passing views in parallel with tinted hues. But when our skies aligned that night, it felt like something tilted right. He saw the sky and so did I, from different streets but same old high. No need for names, no need to speak, just one soft beat we didn't seek. And I just laughed behind my screen at how the world could stretch between two posts, two phones, no big design, but still his sky had touched on mine. Same blue bench, same evening breeze, two shadows set in symmetry. No rush to speak, no plans to keep, just silence folded neat and deep. We watched the sky in pastel gray while buses groaned and rolled away. He didn't move, he didn't yawn, just sat beside from dusk till dawn. Then came the words, so soft, so light, as if he'd pulled them from the night. I hope the rain won't fall too soon, and just like that I bloomed into. He said he hoped the sky would stay clear just for this brief stretch of day. And though the clouds still hung above, my world lit up like whispered love. No storm could reach the way I felt when kindness slipped from how he dealt. Not thunder loud, not sun so proud, but gentle weather in a crowd. The next day came, we sat again. The clouds were low, but not like then. His voice still lingered in my chest, like weather kept in folded rest. No need to check the forecast app, his sentence echoed in my lap. And every droplet that stayed far felt like a wish from where we are. He said he hoped the rain would miss this tiny pocket made of this, and though it's small and no one sees, it brightened all the dark in me. No rainbow cue, no cinematic sign, just weather talk that realigned. The sky might break, but I won't hide. I've got his words beneath my stride. Some people bring umbrellas wide while others just stand by your side. He didn't shield, he didn't shine, but somehow made the gray align. He wished the sky would hold its tears, and suddenly I lost my fears. The forecast didn't change the scene, but changed the way I read between. No promise made, no fingers crossed, but something soft was never lost. I watched the clouds, then looked ahead, and felt the sun in what he said. The room was still, the air hung light, his desk a frame in sleepy white. Head down low in crooked line, a dreamer lost in lunch break time. One lock of hair slid down his cheek, a strand so soft, so oddly sleek. And without thought, I reached to sweep, like brushing clouds from cotton sleep. No one saw, no drama broke, just my small hand and sleepy cloak. I pulled it back, then paused, then stayed, as if the world had gently swayed. He didn't wake with startled eyes, just blinked and grinned like soft surprise. Thought there was a bug, he said, with half a laugh and tousled head. But still that smile, that lazy glow, made something soft inside me grow. No love declared, no hero cue, just space enough to feel brand new. He stretched and yawned, the scene resumed, but I still lived inside that room. The touch was brief, the talk was light, but left my chest a little bright. No thank you said, no lines to cross, just one soft second nearly lost. Yet even so, I found a hue that made me kinder than I knew. He'll never guess the thought I kept, the way that single moment slept between the sighs of passing day and stayed in ways I can't convey. He joked about a dreamland flight, but never asked the reason why. And maybe that was for the best, to keep it soft inside my chest. I touched his face and touched my own, a kindness bloomed I hadn't known. No grand event, no plotted part, just here and there and beating heart. We pass, we speak, we laugh, we leave, but still there's more than we perceive. He'll never know what I became, just from one touch that had no name. He smiled and joked and moved along, but left behind a gentle song. No thunderclap, no sudden flame, just me a little less the same. And maybe that crushing dreams with quiet hands. He dipped the brush, the ink was still, a breath held tight, a silent will, and then it moved, no second guess, one stroke that carved a weightlessness. I watched it form, bold and wide, a single word that wouldn't hide, just now in black, no flare, no frame, but something in it called my name. It wasn't loud, it didn't shine, but echoed down this life of mine. I looked away, but felt it stay inside the hours of that day. He wrote now and time stood still, like all the noise had bent to will. Not dreams ahead or echoes past, but just the space where shadows cast. And suddenly the light fell slow, the air grew thick and subtle glow. A single word, a single frame, yet all around it burned my name. The bell had rung, the class was done, but still my world had just begun. I held that now like secret code, a quiet pulse and overload. He didn't mean to change my pace, just filled a void with sudden grace. No speech, no smile, no knowing nod, but still I felt the shift like God. I didn't move, I didn't write, just sat and soaked in soft delight, as if the paper spoke instead. You're here, not there, so lift your head. He wrote now and I began to hold the seconds in my hand, not waiting for some brighter then, but loving every ink stain when. No need for plans or golden years, just breaths that beat inside my ears. He didn't speak, he didn't try, but made me feel the reason why. We chase the future, fear the past, but some words weren't made to last. Still now remains a pulse of flame, the boldest line without a name. He wrote now, and though he left, the words still held a quiet heft. It stayed with me through fading light, like ink that glows in silent night. I walked home slow, but steps felt wide, like every blink was magnified. He'll never know what he began with just one stroke that shaped a span. No words, no lines, just brooms and floors, a sign to clean the silent chores. He didn't speak, and neither did I, just moved the desk beneath the sky. The echo clinked of chair on tile, routine framed in dusty miles. But then it hit a gentle crash, two corners met in awkward splash. Our hands both froze and eyes took flight, a blink, a beat, and then a light. He laughed not loud, just soft and fast, like spring had snuck into the glass. We didn't talk, we didn't plan, but in that clash I swore I ran from every cold and careful side to somewhere warm where truths can't hide. A desk, a laugh, no need to say, but something real had brushed my way. We're often lost, we barely sink, but maybe we're not what we think. But maybe we're not what we think. We moved again, the moment passed, but still my chest was beating fast. He didn't ask, I didn't try, yet something shifted on the slide. We're not the kind who trade in words. We live in almost, not in thirds. But now I see the space we share is full of light we didn't dare. It doesn't need to bloom or burn, just flicker bright when no one turns. A spark inside the daily dust that says you're seen, and that's enough. We didn't speak, but still it shone, that half a laugh we both had known. A second brushed, a corner turned, and something quiet almost burned. We're never close, we often miss, but moments like this feel like gifts. A clash, a grin, no larger aim, but still I'll never see the same. Nope, how bad, nope, how bad. But maybe we're not what we'd be. Nope, how bad, nope, how bad. But maybe we're not what we think. The canvas stood on tilted wood. He showed his piece, we said that's good. A sky of blue, a tree in bloom, the quiet hush of autumn gloom. But there it was, my favorite place, a simple bench, my lunchtime space, drawn in shade with perfect line, a silent shape that looked like mine. He didn't glance, he didn't say, just packed his brushes, walked away. But in that frame, so still, so wide, I felt a pulse I couldn't hide. He drew a bench and that was all. No name, no claim, no curtain call. But somehow I was framed in tone, in pastel lines I thought unknown. I told myself it wasn't deep, just scenery, not secrets kept. But still I sat there just to see if maybe he had noticed me. The next day passed like folded notes, but still I walked in silent quotes and found the bench just like before, but this time meant a little more. The breeze was light, the sky was plain, but something danced beneath the rain. He never spoke, no artist cue, yet still the world felt painted new. Maybe it's just a trick of mine, but there I sat and there I'd find that even silence left a trace when drawn by him in quiet space. He drew a bench where I would be, a shape too close to just be free. And in that sketch I saw a sign that maybe chance had drawn a line. No spotlight cast, no words were said, but something bloomed inside my head. I sat again and let it grow, a brushstroke only we might know. She's there again, maybe not chance. Not every story needs a plot. Some art reveals the things we're not. He didn't speak, but still he drew, and I became his shade of blue. He drew a bench and I still sit, as if his hand had summoned it. No proof, no script, no guarantee, but still it felt like part of me. I'll never ask desk aligned, the lights were dim. One song per heart, no script, no trim. I waited quiet, sleeves pulled tight. My playlist stayed in silent flight. He stood with calm, his phone in hand, and cued a track I didn't plan. But as it played, my breath caught short. I knew that song, I'd shared that chord. I'd posted it some months ago, a late night link with caption glow. No likes, no shares, no viral spin, but now it looped beneath my skin. He chose that song, my favorite sound, the one I thought no one had found. He didn't look, he didn't speak, but still my chest turned bold from weak. No proof he knew, no hint or nod, but still it felt like fate applauded. A melody I once let slip, now sung aloud from his own lips. The notes not sharp, not flat, the room held still, imagine that. No fireworks, no movie scene, just sound that danced where I had been. I watched the bored, avoided eyes, but couldn't help the inner rise. As if some thread from screen to air had woven him from moments there. I never thought he'd scroll that far or find that post among the stars, but still that tune he chose to play felt like my name in some small way. He sang my song without a clue and painted all my grayscale blue. A quiet nod to something past that somehow made my heartbeat last. I didn't tell, I didn't smile, just let the warmth stay for a while. Because some truths don't need a stage, they hum between the lines we caved. Something I once softly laid, but even if the thread was thin, it tied me back to joy within. He picked a song I used to share, and suddenly the room felt rare. No spotlight scene, no love confessed, just one soft beat inside my chest. The world kept still, the class moved on, but something deeper had been drawn. He'll never know what he unlocked, a heart that danced though never knocked. The hallway slipped, a page took flight. I caught it mid-spin, left to right. No grand reflex, no bold display, just habit in a casual day. He turned too cool to fake surprise, but smirked with something in his eyes. No thanks in plain, no awkward tone, just thanks my hero, like alone. It wasn't deep, it wasn't drawn, but landed smooth like Sunday dawn. That word just looped inside my head like something more than what he said. He called me hero, light and sly, like nicknames dropped from lazy sky. No cape, no scene, no crashing wall, just paper saved from sudden fall. But still I wore it like a name, an inside joke that lit a flame. He didn't mean to crown a show, but something in me started glow. Passed it back, no need to pause. He took it with a shrug, no cause, but still my fingers felt the tag like borrowed pride I didn't drag. No one else heard, no one knew, but I replayed that tone on cue, as if his voice rewrote my role with just one word unearned but whole. He never asked, he never stayed, but somehow left the party played. And I just me, no mask, no goal, still kept that title like a scroll. He called me hero just for fun, but now that line won't ever run. No medal won, no banner wave, just something small that somehow stayed. A nickname tossed in passing air, still wrapped around me like a dare. He didn't mean to shift my day, but gave it shade. spun fast, then kissed the dirt. My hand was raw, my pride half hurt. Grass on sleeves and heat on cheeks. The silence louder than the shrieks. Shoelace loose, my balance failed. But no one laughed, no gossip trailed. Just him too close, too cool, too real. With something folded, something healed. He knelt with calm like time was slow, and pulled a bandage from below. No big deal, no panic cry, just one soft phrase that touched the sky. You okay? Face still cute, I hope. And suddenly I found the slope where pain turned light and air turned sweet, like I just skipped instead of slipped. He didn't flinch, he didn't tease, just patched me up with careless ease. No poetry, no magic spell, but still I felt completely well. The bandage clung like second skin, but his words danced beneath my grin. He didn't ask 100 ways, just wiped the fall with sunlit phrase. His smirk was light, not deep or grave, but carried more than heroes gave. No night, no cape, no rescue cue, just you alright, and skies turned blue. No chorus sang, no hands were held, but somehow all the ache was quelled. The scrape still burned, the red still showed, but I forgot the weight it owed. You okay? Face still looking fine. He laughed and made the day rewind. No movie scene, no perfect frame, but suddenly I liked my name. I wore that bandage like a crown, as playground whispers spun around. Not for the fall, but how it passed, because of words not meant to last. Ba-da-da-da, 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 the pain was mine, but not for long. His smile just turned it into song. No questions deep, no grand parade, just one small bandage lightly laid. You okay? Still loops in my mind, more soothing than the nicest kind. He didn't stay, he didn't brag, but picked me up without the drag. And though the scratch will fade in days, I'll keep his voice in quiet place, 'cause kindness given without script is where the realest skies are flipped. Da-da-da-da, 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 da-da-da-da. Day began in separate tracks, different maps and distant laughs. Photos filled with not him frames, still I watched without a name. Group games played with second best, lunch too loud, I faked the rest. All those miles in crowded scenes, and none of them could bridge between. Then came the stop, the bathroom line, no script, no stage, just space and time. I heard him sigh behind my side, a soft so tired, no place to hide. He didn't know what that would do, but suddenly the sky turned blue. One phrase so flat, so real, so small, and somehow I stood 10 feet tall. My steps got light, my heart turned fast. That voice rewound, the hours passed. I didn't care, we hadn't talked. That word alone just made me walk. The ride back hummed in buzzing gray. I leaned on glass and looked away, but still his tone played in my head like sneakers skipping words he said. He never turned, he didn't smile, just said it once and left the aisle. But that was more than games or scores. It cracked my chest and opened doors. No planned exchange, no memory card, just one brief line that hit me hard. While others yawned or checked their phones, I held his echo like my own. He didn't try to charm or shine, just matched his words with tired mind. But somehow that simplicity reset the world surrounding me. I felt the asphalt turn to space in something small. We didn't bond, we didn't stay, but still I walked a lighter way. He didn't mean to change the day, but with one line he lit the way. I'll hold that moment from the trip when tired turned into a skip. No selfies caught the beat I felt, no souvenirs, no belts were dealt, but one quick phrase so carelessly still moves like rhythm under me. The sky wore gray like borrowed clothes, and puddles bloomed where silence grows. I stood alone, no shelter near, with nothing but a whispered fear. The exit buzzed with dripping shoes, my sleeves were damp with hallway blues. He caught my stare and grinned so light, if you're gonna run, now's kinda right. He didn't offer half his sky, no umbrella raised up high, just stepped outside and took the fall like that was nothing much at all. He didn't pull me from the rain, but joined me there without refrain. No cover shared, no fingers laced, but still my breath began to raise. We ran like fools with clothes all drenched, the clouds above, the space unclenched, but something in that reckless sprint felt warmer than a silent hint. The storm was soft, a spring cliche, but still enough to blur the day. He didn't stop, just match my pace, the raindrops drawing on his face. He laughed once more, no words to add, just soaked his shoes like it ain't bad. No rescue tale, no chivalry, just choosing what to walk with me. He didn't say I looked afraid, just made the sky a shared cascade. And even when he turned away, the echo stayed like light in gray. He didn't shield me from the storm, but stood beside like it was norm. No epic scene, no story arc, just rain and a rhythm in the dark. I'll take that laugh that soaked goodbye above a dry and distant lie. He didn't love, he didn't try, but still he walked beneath my sky. No umbrella, no umbrella, no umbrella, no borrowed roof, no safety made, but I remember how we swayed, two silhouettes in silver pour, not touching, but I wanted more. He didn't offer shelter's grace, but ran with me, no second place. That moment wet, that fleeting run, still brighter than a summer sun. We shared the storm, not canopy, and somehow that meant more to me. No cover, no dramatic cue, just being soaked and seen and true. More than more. New seats, new grid, the shuffle buzz. He turned around just like he does, a voice like spring with no pretense. Behind me now, let's make some sense. He didn't mean a second glance, just courtesy and classroom dance, but something in that tone just stuck like gentle breeze or sudden luck. It wasn't loud, it wasn't deep, but echoed through my hidden shelf. I kept that phrase all to myself. You've got my back, he said so clear. And now that voice won't disappear. I wrote it down again, again, on corners where my notes began. The line was plain, no secret sign, but still it curled inside my spine. A seed, a row, a glance, a phrase, and suddenly my world would blaze. Behind his back, I took my place, pretending calm, controlling pace. But every time he moved aside, my breath would echo deep inside. The words he said were nothing grand, but turned to ink inside my hand. I wrote them small beside each line, a private loop, a secret sign. Not love, not crush, not drama loud, just something soft I wore like cloud. His voice like chalk against the blue, it marked me more than he once knew. You've got my back, just three small words, but sweeter than 1,000 chords. I traced them down like spells or prayers in margins where nobody stares. He never saw the things I wrote, but still those syllables would float like posted dreams on line despair. They made me feel like I was there. I'll fade behind his back again, but keep his words like steady rain. No need for more, no final act, just echoes in a paper track. You've got my back, so light, so real. A simple phrase, a hidden seal. Not meant for hearts, not carved in gold, but still it's something I can hold. And though he speaks 100 things, that one still flies with hidden wings. I'll write it down till corners blur, 'cause just that line belonged to her. Behind the school, the sacre swayed. He stood alone in pastel shade. A ribbon peeked from paper white. His fingers clenched it loose but tight. I didn't ask, I didn't stare, just caught the wind that danced his hair. The box was sweet, not meant for me, a snapshot framed in honesty. But then he turned like nothing weighed. No drama line, no big charade, just dug inside a smaller pack and handed one from way in back. You did good work was all he said, as if that line had wings instead. A wrapped up square, no heart inside, but something shook the world I hide. I knew the score, I knew the rules, still caught myself in sugared fools. A gift not carved from love or flame, but kindness raw and free of shame. The pink above, the hush below, the box grew warm inside my coat. He never looked, not liking tales, but still that voice set softer trails. No promise hid behind the treat, no whispered vow, no secret beat, just something simple, calmly true, and somehow that still carried through. He didn't linger, didn't blush, the moment passed without a hush, but in that handoff, light and brief, was something real beneath belief. You did good work like golden thread, it tied me back to things unsaid. Not every gift is He looked at me like I was more than courtesy, but even so my chest held tight. That voice still echoes in tonight. You did good work, that line was small, but gently caught me in its fall. I took the chocolate, smiled and knew it wasn't love, but it was true. No petals fell in perfect time, no music swelled, no scripted line, but still that taste so faint and clear was sweet enough to keep him near. Press the button, eyes half dazed, same old row, a sugar face. Can in hand, I didn't know I'd picked a key he used to show. He turned the bend with casual step, no pause, no script, no safety net, just pointed ones, a laugh so light. That's the one, your taste is right. I froze mid-sip, my heart off beat. The can was cold, my face held heat. He didn't pause or act impressed, but still those words just lit my chest. You've got good taste, he said and smiled like treasure tucked inside the mile. No grand applause, no sparks or flare, just something real caught in the air. A sip of him, a drop of fate, a phrase I couldn't replicate. The world moved on, the hallway buzzed, but I still held that moment's fuzz. I held the can like fragile glass, each bubble counting moments past. He never knew how deep that rang, or how my pulse began to hang. No love confession, no cliche, just praise he likely tossed away. But I caught it like golden air and kept it warm, just unaware. So small, so soft, a passing breeze, but stitched itself in memories. And every time I pass that row, I hear his voice in subtle glow. You've got good taste, still spins inside, a whispered joy I never hide, like coins that land the perfect way, by accident but meant to stay. He didn't look, he didn't know how one light phrase could gently grow, a moment mild yet crystal clear, that blooms again each time he's near. Spark needs firelight. Some live in shades of fending white. He'll never guess what he began. A quiet smile inside a can. You've got good taste. That phrase alone turned echo into precious stone. Steam rose slow, slow from plastic bowls. I counted spoons like secret goals. The line moved on just one by one. Routine beneath the lunchroom sun. His tray slid up, my fingers shook, but I played calm, the ladle took. No eye contact, no sudden pause, just silence wrapped in daily laws. But then his voice, so soft and near, a single thanks I barely hear. Not loud, not deep, not drawn for show, but warm enough to melt the slow. You didn't look, you didn't stay, but that one word just cleared my way. The dullness of the afternoon was lifted like a floaty tune. I passed you soup, you passed me peace, and in that sound the clocks all cease. No thunder strike, no lightning play, just quiet smile? The soup was bland, the moment quick, but something in his tone would stick. No glance, no tilt, no sweet cliche, yet still I felt my thoughts delay. I watched his back fade through the crowd, but heard his tone still soft and proud. He didn't mean to leave a trace, but kindness lingered in that space. The lunch bell rang, the trays were stacked, but part of me still leaned and lacked that single voice, so plain, so clean, still danced around my soft routine. You didn't look, you didn't see, but that one thanks rewrote my sea. It pulled me from the post-lunch gloom and aired the dust inside my room. No fairy tale, no secret code, just one kind voice along the road. And somehow that was all it took to break the rhythm that I shook. She smiled. Some days just pass without a sound, but others spin when none around. He didn't look, but still he spoke, and that's the thread I gently broke. You didn't stay, you didn't know, but something in you made me glow. I'll pour the soup, I'll serve the line, but hope still flickers when it's mine. It wasn't much, but still it stayed, a simple sound that softly swayed. No need for names or daring eyes, just kindness under lunchroom skies. Ooh. Crowd was loud, the whistle blew, my sneakers sparked the track in view. Heartbeat chased the echo cheer, and still I ran without the fear. I saw his hand, the handoff clear, but his eyes were never near. They searched beyond the finish line at someone else's face, not mine. My breath was gone, the world spun tight. I crossed the line, but not his sight. Just one more name inside the blur, but then I heard him clear and sure. Nice run, he said, like it was gold. No joke, no side glance, just pure bold. He didn't fake, didn't delay, and something warm just lit my day. He didn't see the way I stared, but in that smile I felt he cared. It wasn't love, it wasn't flame, but still it gently spoke my name. Got fragments, got fragments, got fragments, my chest still burned, my legs were weak, but I'd replay that tone all week. He didn't know the look I wore, the one I'd save for something more. The sun was fierce, my cheeks were red, but not from pace, from words he said. He passed the baton, not his gaze, yet lit my world in subtle blaze. I didn't win, no medals hung, but that one line still softly stung in sweetest way, like breeze through skin, a praise too light to hold within. Nice run, he said, and meant it true, like morning sky in crystal blue. No hint of more, no secret code, just something clean that gently flowed. I didn't catch his eyes that day, but felt his voice cut through the gray. He didn't know, he made me gleam, but in that moment I could dream. We all just run in looping turns for finish lines. No one confirms, but sometimes praise without a plan can mean the world from just one man. Nice run, he said, and walked away, but left that warmth where doubt would stay. I'm not the girl he turned to find, desks were still the chalkboard bare. He tuned his strings without a care, each note a thread in golden light that stitched the edge of day to night. My shadow curled beneath my chair. I knew that song too well to bear, but there he sat, a quiet flame, and softly strummed my favorite name. But on his stand a photo stayed, a girl mid-laugh in blossom shade. He never looked my way at all, just played the spring against the fall. You played my heart in every chord, but tuned your gaze to one ignored. The window wide, the sky in bloom, but I still felt that quiet room. The song was mine, the notes were near, but not a single one was clear. You smiled for someone in the frame, while I sat still without a name. The frets were warm, his fingers light. He played like dreams could still take flight, but every measure pulled apart. The closer it came to my heart, I watched his eyes, not where they fell, but where they didn't, tells it well. He wasn't cruel, he wasn't cold, just blind to stories left untold. He strummed a chord I couldn't fight and colored shadows into light, but not for me, at least not yet. I hummed along with no regret. You played the song that made me breathe, but never knew what lay beneath. The melody was warm and white, but never reached the girl inside. You played like spring had just begun, and I believed for once I'd won. But eyes don't lie when they still roam to memories that feel like home. You didn't know how close I came to speaking loud instead of shame, but spring was kind, it held my chest and let me ache without protest. So let her stay inside your frame while I stay soft without the blame. The chords still linger in my lung, but this time I won't bite my tongue. You played my heart without a glance, but still I gave it half a chance. Not every song must end in tears, some bloom like light through passing years. You strummed, I stayed, the room was wide, and yet I didn't try to hide, because your melody unnamed still felt like spring and not a game. Beaker, fog, and silver tools, lab coats, chalk dust, broken rules. He reached to steady what I held, a gesture small, the moment swelled. His hand brushed mine, no second look. The glass between us slightly shook, but while my chest forgot to beat, his eyes were chasing noise and heat. I left behind a name called twice. He glanced that way without a price. I stayed still, my hand in flame, while he moved on, not knowing names. The heat you didn't notice stayed inside my palm where fingers laid. It wasn't love, it wasn't fate, but still too much to underrate. You helped because the flask was near, not cause my presence drew you here, but I still burned beneath your touch for something you ignored too much. Refracted through your sleeve, while I forgot how to believe in something shared and something seen. But you were tuned to other screens. Your fingers moved and let it go, like science says, not hearts below. And yet I stayed in that delay, where he'd outlived the lab display. I know what meant no more than grabbing tools from lab stock drawers. But somehow in that nothingness, I found too much I can't suppress. touch can still remain. He didn't see, he didn't care, but I was fully burning there. The heat you did